All right, shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise and glories to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Harakah, Kadash. In double honors to elder apostles, elder bishops, a great millstone, one of the relentless truth from. Peace and salutations, lawful elect, whoever may be in the forms of the earth. And the brother Kwam Gabar come back with another lesson to edify the body. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, the house of David. And on Lord's will and edifying video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushua Bahashim, Harakah HaKadosh. Before I begin, I say Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushua, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushua, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushua. All blessings and glories to Heavenly Father, Abba now, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushua Bahashim, Harakah HaKadosh. And once again, double honors to elder apostles, elder bishops, great millstone, and peace and salutation, lawful elect, whatever may be in the forms of the earth. When the brother Kwam Gabar come back with another lesson to edify the body, Yahweh Bashmi Ashai, the house of David. And as you see on my screen, the title of the lesson, it's in the shores of Babylon the Great, on the offshores of Babylon the Great, the universal basic income, and elder apostles, starting with the elder apostles, elder bishop, great millstone. This is one step closer to the MOTB. You know what the MOTB, we know what the MOTB stands for. If you don't, go to Revelations 13 and 16, the MARK, right? So the title of the lesson is Universal Basic Income is on the offshores of Babylon the Great, on the Pacific coast. This video from the brother Arrows of Indignation, you see it on the screen, it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And it's talking about everyone's getting ready to go through universal basic income, because the MOTB is right at the doorstep. All these things are common. All right, Salakia. Let's continue with the universal basic income out there in Marshall Island. It's on the coast of Pacific Ocean, and let's go to Revelations 12 and 12 real quick. Salakia for that. This is Revelations 12 and 12, because the universal basic income is going to lead to the MOTB, like the elder apostles. Get the water for those beautiful men. Still stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shai and the spirit of prophecy, right? Which I'm going to grab. This is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heaven, seeing that this thing is coming to an end. This whole thing is coming to an end. This whole thing is coming to a complete, utter halt. This way of living. A universal basic income. And in this video, the brother Arrow of Indignation, the Edomite could have been a Jake, but he has the appearance of Edomite, but he could be a Jake. Don't know. But we'll find out in the end. So all praise to the Heavenly Father, Abba Yahweh Shai, that this thing is coming to a close, man. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein. Woe to the heavens of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knows that it's but a short time. He knows his time is short. He knows his time is over. He don't know that, but the Bible scholars, the elites know, but the average American, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, the so-called Edomites and all these other heathen nations, they don't know that America is going to be destroyed. But they're going to find out after death by pain. You see? It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein. Woe to the hams of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows he has but a short time. His time is over. His time is short. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob the beginning that follow it. So let's go to, I'm going to play the video at the, it's about, a 4-minute video. I'm just going to play it through, and because he says a lot of things in it. He also said they tested the last guy at the end of the video, the second half of the video. He said they're testing. The United States were testing nukes over in Marshall Island, and they've been doing this for decades. What they did to Japan, Hiroshima. Those two cities that they did in. Oh man, this devil has a lot to pay for, man. This devil has a lot to fucking pay for. Let's go to another precept that I wanted to just bring out, because it is the spirit of prophecy. Because let's go to Revelation 19. I'm just gonna bring out a couple scriptures, and then play the video, man. Because World War III, is coincides with the MOTB. The MOTB has to be fully gone on live, mandated throughout the whole world. This is why it's called a universal basic income. The whole universe, the whole earth is going to have one basic income under the central bankers. That's why, all these, everything is going digital. Everything is about to go right online. And guess what? It's a beautiful time to be alive, because we're entering into the 250-year mark since America has been established. 1776, the independence, so-called independence, July 4th, right? 1776, July 4th, we're entering into January 1st, 2026. Then there's 6 months and 3 days. 7 months, technically 6 months and 3 days. But if you want to, 7 months and 3 days, until, this thing is over, man. It's a beautiful time to be alive, man. You see? So this is Revelation 19 in verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, Says I do it not, I am that fellow servant and of their brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of a man. Lord, he's making us as soldiers. Endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushai Mashiach. It says, let me read it again. This is Revelation 19 and 10. It says, I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, Says thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushai, the spirit of prophecy. This is the spirit of prophecy. A universal basic income. A UBI is going to enter into what? It's called gradualism, right? They can't just give it to you all at one time, because they know a lot of people are going to resist. But if they gradually just spoon feed you, guess what happens? You're going to just take it freely without no resistance. But you're going to have some resistance before it comes. That's why it's called civil war. Citizens against citizens. Egyptians against Egyptians. Upwards of the people, man. This thing's getting ready to get Really, really interesting. It says, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Right? Let's go, and then let's go to Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive an mark in their right hand or their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark, or the name of the name of the beast, or the number of his name, and that man, right, that created the universal product code, the universal basic income is all all coming together, intertwining together. The universal product code to the universal basic income. Because all in the whole world, what do they have? They have a scanning system, right? They scan. You swiped your card. Now you get the chip. You was able to put the chip into the scanner and read that. Now you can tap your phone. Your iPhone, your Samsung, whatever phone you got, smartphone you got, you're gonna tap it on the terminal, beep, and walk out. Now it's all gradualism, you see? And that name, that number, that man that created the universal basic code, universal product code, is the one that made it the RFID chip. You see? He's the one who created it. His name is George Jeffrey Lohr. George has 6 letters. Jeffrey has 6 letters. Laura has 6 letters. And it's by not coincidence. He's done his job. So they deleted him in 2020. He got deleted in 2020. The Lord took his spirit back to him. He said, "That's it. You're done your job. All of us have a job to do. And Esau's doing his job, so we got to have a job to do. And our job is to believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, the elect. And it says, here is wisdom. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man." And I just named that man, George Jeffrey Lohr. And his number is 666. And it's so beautiful because ties into what I saw this week. I think it was about 2 days ago, Wednesday. It was a blue, I was just telling my brother, Adama, this, that I saw a Toyota Yaris, license plates at 666 END, end. So we're at the end. This thing it's all spiritual, man. That's why we have to keep on our spiritual helmets, man. Have a spiritual fortitude about ourselves. But walk with wisdom, and she will meet us in every thought. You see? You see how beautiful this thing is? So let's go to Revelations 11 and 14. Because what he said, I'm going to play the video. This is Revelations 11 and 14. This is what he is relaying to. But he was talking about the missiles. He was talking about they were just, you're gonna hear from your own, out of your own to your own ears, and Lord willing, you can hear it. When I play the video, it says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." It all coincides. Then Yahweh Shai is the cherry on the top. Man, he's about to come and destroy this whore, man. For all the disdain, all the the horrible thing that she has done to the not America itself, the ground and the earth, but the people of the earth. And who's running the earth? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white men. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who is he? If it's not the so-called white man, who is it then? And we all know who it is, but no one wants to say nothing. But that's okay. You know, if the prophets are meant to, only ones get speak. We're the ambassadors of Yahweh Shem Shai. Lord willing, I'm one of them. Lord willing, we're all of them. So, you know, Lord willing, you know, let me play this video real quick, man. It's a beautiful. This is what it is right here, man. Let's get to the point.
Most people are gonna have traditional.
Hold on, Salakia. Forgive me.
Marshall Islands has launched the first on-chain universal basic income program. What? And they're using Stellar. It's universal basic income, and they're using Stellar, distributing USDM1 bonds backed by U.S. Treasury notes and 1.2 million residents, replacing traditional cash payments.
This is where it's going. This is where it's at.
I'm not even playing. I wonder how much money they're saving by moving over to blockchain.
Salakia.
That's not the question that most people are going to have. I have that question because that's what that looks like. Yes, UBI is a big, topic. Universal basic income, meaning that there are no jobs, right? So people need to eat, they need to live. We're not talking luxury. We're just talking bare minimum necessities. So by now you've probably heard that Stellar, one of the more prominent crypto networks out there, is being used as the rails for a new UBI that's being tested, or Universal Basic Income, for the Marshall Islands. Now this in and of itself is really interesting to me, that we are testing a UBI of any kind, and that this is the very first nation where this is actually being tested. So I dove into it, and what I found about the Marshall Islands kind of blew my mind beyond just this whole UBI situation. Because one thing they didn't teach me in the textbooks when I was a kid is that back in the day, when we were doing our nuclear testing back in the 60s and that era, one of the places that we tested our nukes was the Marshall Islands. And now we're not just talking small nukes or small tests, we're talking nukes that at sometimes were 1.8 times the size of the nuke that was dropped on Hiroshima. And what's crazy is residents actually felt the effects of these things, even though the Marshall Islands are essentially a group of 1,200 islands all around the Pacific. If you look at it on Apple Maps, you won't even see land until you zoom in. But they're essentially just all these islands spread out, yet some of them were chosen for nuclear drop sites, and not just one or two, we're talking like 60. And there's some debate in the community as to whether or not the nukes that they were testing were just to see information about the explosion itself, or whether they were actually testing to see the effects on the people locally. Because even still to this day, there are people who remember or have experiences or still have effects from nukes that were dropped back in the day. And I'm talking like there was mass cases of baby deformities when they were born. One person in particular that I saw a video about talked about how they had leg and arm pain for years and years and years and years. So this is not just like some random thing, right, where one or two people got affected. No, it was a large group of people within the vicinity. So later on, of course, in time, the U.S. realized that this was a bad idea, and they started paying reparations to the Marshall Islands. On top of giving them their independence, they were a U.S. territory. Well, now it seems that some of that reparation money is now going to be used to create this universal basic income. So what's going to happen is residents are going to receive $200 a quarter every single quarter from here forward. It was instituted just a number of days ago, and that will go directly into each resident's pocketbook. I believe there's about 80,000 residents, give or take, in the nation. So do with this information what you will. I just thought the whole situation is crazy. I highly recommend diving more into it, because These are the kinds of things they didn't teach you in the textbooks, and it blows my mind that I'm just learning about this now in my 30s. Also, on top of that little select group of people in New York who were chosen by Coinbase to attempt at some kind of UBI as well in New York, it's all starting to look really eerily weird, especially if you're one of those conspiracy people that believes that in the future they are going to have a UBI.
Let me stop it there, because he said New York, right? And it came, where did the truth come out of? 100% truth came out of Harlem, New York, starting with Alba Bivens, right? And so, everything is spiritual. The truth came, the Wadi Abashimon Shai for the elder apostles, they're out of New York. The world is watching, the prophets, the true prophets, and everything is coming together. It's all in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. It's not our word, it's his word. And we're bringing it to you with truth and sincerity. So let me end it off right here. Let me go to, because it's, this is the end of this thing. This is it. 2nd Ezra 6 in verse 7, it says, "And then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first?" The end of what? The end of this rulership, this death, life. "Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? After this, the kingdom of heaven is going to be here on earth as is in heaven, under Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, and his King David, the 12 apostles, 144,000 men, the men, women, and children, the elect. But the 144,000 are going to be governing bodies under Yahushai. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of..." So let me read it again. "And he answered me, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau," and that was in the beginning, and you can find that in Genesis 25, 19 to 26 on down, 19 on down to 26, 27. Says, for Esau the end, this is the point. For Esau the end of the world, end of an age, end of a time. This is he's an unfit. No, he's come. We found him. Everyone's finding out to him that he's the unfit ruler. Esau's an unfit ruler, man. He can't rule. He's just a kid. He's a young kid, a young boy. Women are oppressors, and children rule over them. Esau's ruling over us. So his rulership is over, man. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth. That's it. That's where we're headed to. But this thing has to end, and it's going to end violently in an instant. So everybody's getting warmed up. These seven. This seven kingdoms get ready for World War III. This thing is getting ready to, and the Lord and Savior is about to crack them clouds, man. The angels are reporting back and forth. There's chariot signs. Esau's got his hands full, man, and he can't keep up. So the Lord's will is edified through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai by Hashem Harakah Kadash. And double honors to elder apostles, elder bishops, a great millstone, one that there's truth from. And peace and salutations, lawful elect. Before I end, I will say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All blessings and glory to Heavenly Father. Abba now Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Abba Kadash. And once again, double honors to elder apostles, elder bishops, great millstone. Peace and salutation to lawful elect. Shalom, 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 shalom.